even if I die, I die. I kind of have peace about that.
This is Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins on COVID-19.
Friends, Alexander the Great had an agenda. Adolf Hitler had an agenda. Satan has an agenda. And he controls the institutions of the world to message you and me.
And this is Kirk Cousins' dad, Don.
With regard to education, for example, friends, our textbooks are being rewritten. History is being changed. Culture is being canceled.
A prominent pastor in Orlando who spews the typical GOP BS.
I learned what was happening to me had a name. It was called being canceled.
Who lack the ability to define words and use them in the correct context.
We have statues of people being torn down.
He's mad about statues being torn down.
This is what the South Defenders Monument in Lake Charles, Louisiana looks like now.
But what if it's Mother Nature?
Now, the high winds also blew this Confederate monument to the ground.
That does the job protesters could not. Is that not a sign?
The spiritual conviction of America's founders have been all but removed from our textbooks.
This white man is mad his whiteness is appearing not superior at all through the form of education in America.
Found 7 states do not directly mention slavery in their state standards. Only 2 mention white supremacy, while 16 list states' rights as a cause of the Civil War.
You mean this education model? Again, I did not want to fact check this like I did Dana White's ridiculous misinformation-filled ass-kissing clip of the president, but here we are.
Obviously, we all understand where most of the media, the arts, and Hollywood is coming from today and what their agenda is. Religion is being silenced as God is being removed from our culture.
How can one possibly make this argument? Religion is far away from Hollywood?
Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you.
Here's Chadwick, RIP to the King, mentioning God in a speech. Religion is not shy about its infiltration in Hollywood. Ask Tom Cruise, John Travolta, Danny Masterson, and Elizabeth Moss. Denzel Washington even told GQ, I read from the Bible every day and I read my daily word. I read something great yesterday. It said, don't aspire to make a living, aspire to make a difference. So, yeah, Don Cousins is wrong. His blame of Hollywood follows in someone else's footsteps.
They're treating conservatives very unfairly. Hollywood, I don't call them the elites. I think the elites are people they go after in many cases.
Via our friend Resist Programming, Don Cousins' church reopened, not requiring mass while indoors and to only sit 3 seats apart. Churchgoers can be seen singing and congregating together. Meanwhile, Kirk Cousins follows in his father's footsteps. He had this to say about coronavirus, you know, the virus that's killed over 186,000 plus Americans. When asked on a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you with the virus, Kirk replied, I'm about 0.000001. If I get it, I'm gonna ride it out. I'm going to let nature do its course, survival of the fittest kind of approach, and just say, if it knocks me out, it knocks me out. I'm going to be okay. You know, even if I die, I die. I kind of have peace about that. Guys, this is batshit insane. Thus, it shouldn't surprise anyone that Cousins is a frequent golfing buddy of a white supremacist, Donald Trump, who has said this of the virus.
People don't realize it's a tiny percentage of people that get sick, and they're old. It just attacks old people, especially old people with bad heart, diabetes, or some kind of a physical problem. But, these football players are very young, strong people, and they're physically in extraordinary shape. So they're not going to have a problem. You're not going to see people, could it happen? But I doubt it. You're not going to see people dying.
Which is simply untrue. Just this morning, Penn State's director of athletic medicine said that cardiac MRI scans revealed that roughly 30 to 35% of Big Ten athletes who tested positive for COVID-19 appeared to have myocarditis.
Athletics? If you're at all tuned in to pro sports these days and what's unfolding there, you know the platform that's taking place.
There's the racism. In short, Don Cousins is insane. Kirk Cousins is just as insane. Wear a mask. Stay safe. If you'd like to hear more thought-provoking content like TYT Sports on Facebook and to help in my journey to keep media independent, go to tyt.com/Rick.